and music lovers who were spoiled for choice this week when Iphupho Likabiko, Kgafela Vilakazi, Kgafela wa Mogogodi, and Sabelo Soku through an offering titled Ukubuya Kukanxele Nomaqoma offered the audience an audio and spiritual journey through their art. And if you missed it, just like me, not to worry, we've got a bit of the concert coming to you. We are joined in studio by poet Kgafela wa Mogogodi. Dumelang.
Dumelang le kae?
Teng le kae?
Re teng. Ke dula ke bakanya itse ke kopa o bakanya sengwe ka pele.
Ere.
Mogogodi ne wa Mogogodi.
Wa Mogogodi.
Mogogodi a noka.
Wa Mogogodi.
No.
Ke nna gape. Re mo gape. Happy. Wa Mogogodi.
Tota siya.
Thank you. Let's talk about Friday night, I guess. You titled this as a tribute to the ancestors of resistance. Who are these ancestors of resistance that you are honoring?
Look, let's start from the beginning, right? So Iphupho Likabiko is a band that works with music and revolution, and they attempt to speak to this moment, as it were, because it's a band composed of young people. And the leader, Untantla, when he called me, I assumed that this was a call for us to celebrate the heritage of resistance generally. So Nomaqoma were just basically figureheads, if you like, or people around whom we were looking at how our ancestors, fought as hard as they could. Because there are so many others. I mean, if you look outside, maybe this, the ones that we've mentioned, you will look in, for instance, there was a hero, Amanda Barolong, called Matakong, who during the Mafikeng, I think, war or the siege of Mafikeng would actually be the one raiding across enemy lines, because, at the time, Bad Powell was feeding only, he was using the fat of the land, basically, to feed his army, so people were hungry, so Matakong would cross the Boer lines and, come back with cattle. So those kind of heroes who really understood deeply the struggle. But then, again, my own contribution was through spoken word and music. So one of the things that concerned me was, for instance, during that event, I told a story about how on my way to Tabatzamukale, and we were going to perform a week ago in Mamelodi, and I saw cattle feeding on the rubbish dump, over, and they were basically scavenging, if you like. And I was wondering, these are perhaps cows that people use for rituals, is it not? And these are scavenging with rats and, sometimes eating pampers and all this stuff. So what sort of rituals are we sending? And for me, that said to me the question of land is very much, important. And the ancestors that we're talking about were at the heat of that struggle for the fight for land. So this occasion was really to celebrate people who understood deeply why we need to fight for the land. I work in Braamfontein and Wits. Every day I go across, there's a church there in Bertha Street, and that church, when you look at the queue for the soup kitchen, right, it's black people. So the geography of poverty is still very much black, and here we are. So we need sound to raise our vibration. We need, artists who have a consciousness that, makes us see all these, the road that is, visiting us while, as you can see, politicians are having a mighty good time while the rest of us are. So
it would appear that you are troubled by the witnessing of the black condition in 2023. what do we do, I guess, to fix? What have we done? What have we not done? What have we spoken? What have we not spoken? Because in 2023, the black condition in South Africa, according to your observation, is nowhere near where it needs to be.
Yes. I mean, look, it is a problem that people fought so hard. I mean, and I began with people who started fighting in the 1800s, and the journey, continues. It hasn't stopped, and it is disappointing that when we thought we had it, we are here to lose it all. And this is what Fanon was telling us about when he wrote The Pitfalls of National Consciousness, the chapter within the wretched of the earth. He was talking about how, the new ruling elite soon step into the shoes of the former colonial settlement, so that the thinking doesn't change. Therefore, the laws that were designed to, to oppress black people have not really been done away with, especially in regard to the freedom that comes with having land, And we are sleeping today over this opportunity to really give the land back. And even as we say we have the power to do so, even as we say we have a black government, this thing is not being activated, you see. And that creates a lot of problems, as I've said, that, when you start seeing cows feeding on a rubbish dump, then there's a serious problem. It means as a people, we are fundamentally disrupted, because we can't even make that solid connection with our ancestors, if you like. So we don't have spaces that allow us this freedom. So there is a problem really that we as artists need to attack, and it's always problematic when it seems as if the artists are falling in line with the political parties, as you will see, the artists for parties, and it's a different environment, and it would appear that this is the only way for artists to eat. But then this is a problem, because then, when artists are simply pamphleteering for parties, then where does the imagination come in, It seems like this is the death of art also. So when we were creating that event on Friday, we were trying to also bring back to this idea of art as a site for rebellion, art as a means to raise our vibrations, because this is what the Bigos and them were fighting against. To really, art can fight a psychological war, and this is where we are without, things that we are supposed to possess as the land. It really creates a spirit of, psychological inferiority.
We kindly request that you raise our vibration. So take us to Friday, and take us to church right here.
So on Friday, right, so I spoke about how the story, so before I do this piece, because this is also a way of fantasizing about, rebellion, and I wrote a piece called Mogaga. So for me, I spoke about how there was a time in, I don't know if you know about Hiram Maxim, the guy who invented the Maxim gun, and this is the gun that, Europe used to win the war against Africa during the scramble of Africa. But there was a time when the Basotho interrupted, or rather raided Bloemfontein, right, and came out with the Maxim gun. Unfortunately, because they had beef with Barolo, they met armies of Barolo who took back the Maxim gun to the Boers. You see, so now that's where my piece comes in. I'm fantasizing about what would have happened if we had the Maxim gun, Nacha, nacha, nacha. naga ke rona ntshotsa ga nna le wena re goga mogaga re a tlhanoga re re ai bowe fan naga ke rona ntshotsa ga nna le wena re goga mogaga re a tlhanoga re re ai bowe fan naga e thaile ya go kgarakgatsega ga se go rogatsela go retologa ke re ga se go rogatsela go retologa re gwanta re gata mmogo re ikgoga dikgato re tsapoga re gwanta re le botsoga tsoga e bata masojanaga re ganne phakela go phimoga ra sutla masigo le dikgaga re shebelana go fatloga re thomolana divaga bikintsho tsa ga nna le wena re a nanoga phefo difoka re menoga ke re phefo difoka re menoga le naga re belega re tshegetsa re katoga re sa bolo go tlhatloga re fologa ra goroga tsatsi le ra goga maru a poga ya ikala naga le rumo la romega ba boa ba kgokologa bokgodumodumo ba thubega dimpa ba thobega diphuka mekrenko ya robega megata ya kgaoga ba llala ba re pagologa aga ba tsatsaraga ba jagantwa diaga di bataga gedagtetsa buremaga maragaraga di botlola mafiega bo freedom tomorrow lo a diega ke re bo sarafina ba stadaga re re ai bo wefa naga
yo. Ra lebogarre Kgafela wa Mogogodi wa Mogogodi ke kopa maitshwarelo Kgafela wa Mogogodi ra lebogarre.
Go lebogarre.
Thank you.